Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 19 of My Mom Sandy. We are your hosts. I am Josh Fasten, and the woman next to me made a brand new friend a few weeks ago. This is my mom, Sandy.
That's right. Here I am, brand new friend.
Well, you're not the brand new friend.
No,
you made
but
a brand new friend.
I did make a brand new friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
So before we get into all that, I just want to catch everyone up to speed about what we're going to be doing next Monday. So yeah, that was a text message. People are already asking about it.
Yes, you forgot to put your phone on silent
I
mode.
did because I'm expecting some holiday packages today, and I wanted to keep the phone around in case the doorbell rings.
Would that be Hanukkah packages or Christmas packages?
They could be a little bit of both. We're not sure what's arriving.
See, look, I just lit up my phone, but you know what? No noise.
No noise.
Because I'm a smart woman.
You're professional.
That's right.
So I want to get everyone up to speed about what's happening next Monday. So of course, this is episode 19. It's going to drop on Tuesday this week. If you're listening to it, it's Tuesday. We are going to do the first ever My Mom Sandy live episode. We're going to be recording it on Monday, December 9th at 8 p.m. And we would love for all of you guys to be involved, to listen, and you guys can call in. You guys can message us with any questions, comments, stories, anything that we've talked about in any of the episodes. If you guys want to do that, that would be great, because if not, it's just going to be a regular episode. But we thought it would be a fun way to kind of celebrate 20 episodes. I want to give you guys all the details on how to do that. You need to download an app on your mobile device. The app is Podbean. That is the podcast server that we use to that hosts our podcast. So it's
pod, like a little
pod. It's like a little thing you live in, and bean, as in the magical beans
who lives in a pod
that you plant.
Who lives in a pod?
The pod people.
Oh, the pod people. So you pod people out there, you know what we're talking about.
They know. So Podbean. You can download the Podbean app. You guys can search My Mom Sandy. You can start to follow us on there. You can also listen to, the podcast is available on there, but what'll happen next Monday is when we go live, you guys can jump on and it'll open up basically a window that has us live in there, and you can listen to it on headphones or whatever. And then there's a section where you guys can call in, or you guys can also message us in real time while we're doing the podcast. So we would love for everyone to be able to do that. And then of course that episode will go up on Tuesday, the 10th, for everybody to listen to. So yeah, we'd love for you guys to be a part of My Mom Sandy Live. And if it goes well, then, we'll keep doing those, because I think what a fun way for people to interact with us.
Besides, everybody will already have the app on their phone, so
yeah, it'll be easy.
It'll be really easy next time.
Yeah, and of course, we'll post stuff all week this week on Instagram, at My Mom Sandy Podcast.
Didn't we get something from somebody who said all ready? And
I think our friend Caitlin might have already.
She said something about she already downloaded
the app
and was getting ready for those awkward questions, which is a little scary.
We love the awkward questions. Bring it on is what we say.
Okay.
So that's all the info for next week, and then all through the rest of December, we will have the regular podcast schedule. Podcasts will come out every Tuesday. We have some really fun holiday and New Year kind of episodes, but without getting too deep into that, really, let's talk about this week's episode 19.
Okay.
We had a really good experience, opportunity to have a couple of our friends come on. Actually, a few weeks ago, we did an interview with them.
It's Josh's friend and Josh's friend's mother.
Yes, it's my friend Peter and his mom, Robin, or as we call her, Ruben. Or Robino.
Robano.
She opened up a restaurant up the street called
Robano's. Yes.
She could be close to the grandkids and stuff.
Yeah, that's just a story we made up before we did this.
So if you guys go to Robano's and you use promo code MyMomRobin, they're going to give you 20% off your order.
That's right. Good luck.
Good luck. So we were able to interview them, and they had a lot of super fun stories, all kinds of stuff growing up. Peter is my age. Peter grew up on the East Coast with Robin, obviously, because that's his mom.
His mom.
And Jewish family, grew up on the East Coast, New York, and just had some really fun stories. And then we kind of talked Jewish holidays with them, since we're kind of in the holidays now, and just some other stories about kind of how times have changed from, the 80s to now.
Yeah, what was kind of acceptable back then, but totally taboo today.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and play that interview for you guys. We hope you enjoy. And I think this is kind of setting the beginning of having guests come on the My Mom Sandy podcast. But we had a great time with them. We're going to obviously have them back on again. I do want to pre-warn you forewarn you? Pre-warn you?
I think forewarn. We want to warn you before.
I want to warn you guys before that, and I did my best, and this is just how it kind of happened. Robin is a very loud Jewish woman. So on the very loud East Coast Jewish woman. So you're going to notice that the levels on the audio, you might have to, and when she's speaking, you just maybe turn it down in your car a little bit. Or don't. It's a romantical kind of voice.
That's right.
But she's great.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard the recording.
Cause I have to star and produce.
That's right.
The show.
Well, I don't know. Is it my mom, Josh? My son, Josh?
Oh no.
Is that the name?
Well, you're the other star. You're the other star.
You're the star and the producer.
You're the talent. I keep the thing on the tracks.
The train on
I'm
the
train
tracks.
conductor.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So anyway, without any further ado, this is My Mom Sandy with my friend Peter and Peter's mom, Robin. Hey everyone, we've got two very special guests today on this episode of My Mom Sandy. We could not be happier to have them in studio. First, let me introduce you to a good friend of mine. We've been friends for probably 7 years or so. Almost 10. It's 7 plus 3. It's 10.
It's 10.
And he's here with his mom. I'm going to let him introduce his mom, though. This is my good friend, Peter.
Hey, Josh.
How you doing?
Good. How are you? Hi, Sandy.
Hey, Peter. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Good.
We're really excited to be here.
We're happy to have you and your mom.
Oh, my mom. And she's sitting next to me, everybody. This lovely lady with the thickest New York's accent you're ever going to hear. It's my mom, Robin.
All right.
Hi,
All
everyone.
right.
Hi. Nice to have the opportunity to be on your show, Josh.
We are very
and Sandy.
We are very glad that you guys were able to make time out of your busy day to be here with us and to be here in the beautiful My Mom Sandy podcast studio.
Thank you.
Studio 1A.
Studio 1A.
And we
Thank
also
you.
have a studio audience today as well.
We do. We have some studio audience. First time.
If I hold up the laugh card, you need to laugh in the background, okay?
And that would be my girlfriend, Caitlin.
She's here.
Yeah.
And we've got cocktails all around.
Yes. Delicious.
So let's get into some things first. I understand that you brought, and this is something we had kind of talked about for a little bit, but that you had brought My Mom Sandy a gift for coming on.
Yeah, we brought a welcome gift. That's
welcome
what
gift.
it is.
I
When
love it.
you come to someone's house, you come to their studio, you want to bring a nice little gift to say thank you for having us. So we brought this. We know that you are a huge fan of ketchup and everything ketchup flavored. So we brought you some ketchup potato chips directly from Canada, where Caitlin travels to quite frequently. So here's some Old Dutch.
Oh, nice.
But we didn't stop there.
Oh.
We figured since you're such a connoisseur, we bring you two different bags
More ketchup.
of ketchup potato chips.
Seriously. Like, why does Lay's not do ketchup potato chips here?
I know, right? They really should. Actually, well, I'll be interested to see what you think, but
Do I
let
have
me
to
know.
open them both right now?
You don't
Oh, yeah.
have to.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we went above and beyond.
Uh-oh.
We didn't just stop with the chips. We brought you
Oh.
the Canadian version
Smarties.
of Smarties.
Well, that's funny. You should give me these because what I have for you guys as a gift for being our guest is the American
the other
version
Smarties, the
of big
American
Smarties.
version.
That's
Wow.
right.
Perfect.
And there's one for Robin.
Oh, thank you so
And
much.
I even have one for our studio audience.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so let's just recap really
Thank
quick
you,
because it
guys.
feels like it's Christmas morning here or night 2 of Hanukkah.
Yeah, it's Hanukkah night too.
We've got a bag of Old Dutch ketchup flavored potato chips. We have a bag of Lay's ketchup flavored potato chips. We have Canadian Schmarties,
Schmarties.
which what we've talked about is actually the skin between your ball sack and your anus.
The taint.
And your taint, or known as in Yiddish,
Gross.
Schmarties.
Schmatties.
And
Schmarties.
Schmartas.
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 What is a schmata?
A schmata?
Yes.
A schmata is a dirty old rag.
See, okay, exactly. So what I was taught growing up
Thank you.
Yes.
in a house that was half Jewish
Right.
was that the schmarta was actually the skin that resided between the ball sack on a male and the buttocks.
No. A schmata
Is
is a dirty rag.
dirty skin.
Or dirty skin.
Right.
Well, it could be that area. I'm not really sure.
I always thought that was called schmegma.
Yeah, I thought that was
Ew.
schmegma.
Schmegma is actually Yiddish for old sweat.
Yes, that's true.
Schmegma is actually Yiddish for gross.
And schmegma is actually it's in the very end of the day one Hanukkah prayer.
Ooh.
Yeah, schmegma.
Where do you hear it? So should we open this?
So yeah, so
Which
before
one should we
so
open?
before we get too deep into this,
I don't want to open both because then they'll get stale.
but I mean, how long are these gonna? I mean, are you gonna go through
Caitlin
these
goes
in
to
a day?
Canada quite frequently.
Oh.
If you want more,
Put in my order.
We can
I
put
would
it
like
in
a
order.
case, please. No.
You want to visit the old Dutch factory? You want to
Yeah.
meet you want to meet Dutch?
I love it. It has a windmill and everything.
So open the old Dutch ones. Let's
All
try
right,
those.
let's do the
Let's
old
try
Dutch.
those.
I think
So
that's a good call.
so something interesting that we had discussed. I'm looking at Peter, by the way. Everyone that's not tuned in right now
Into my eyes.
on the video, there's no video. Is that
Would you like
yeah?
one?
I'm gonna have one and I'm talking. I can't,
No, thank you. No.
Peter,
Why don't you want one, Mom?
Because I don't eat ketchup.
but you drink Bloody Marys.
That's different.
So this is where I was going.
Okay, Josh.
So my understanding is that, and now, Mom, it's fair to say you love. Why are you doing that? I don't know. I purposely said not to crunch in the mic
Well, we want everybody to know we're actually tasting
that we're eating.
them.
This isn't
These
fake.
are really good. These are better than Spud Crunchies.
Yeah, the Spud Crunchies were a good
They're a little
because
heavy
they're
though.
American.
Yeah, but they're a
and
little
here.
heavy. These are really light and airy.
Thin.
Old
Yeah.
Dutch. So Old Dutch's
Those are good.
thing, I think it says on the back. Yep, light and airy.
And airy.
So Robin, you're not a fan of ketchup, period.
No, not at all. I can't. I have an affinity to touching it,
Really?
and it grosses me out. And I'll tell you why.
How do you make your tacos?
Not with ketchup.
How do you make your tacos?
Not with ketchup. I don't use ketchup. What happened to me was I was on the beach one day with my husband, and I was laying on the sand, very happy, enjoying the beach. And all of a sudden, I felt something wet on my forehead.
And a bird had pooped ketchup onto you.
Kind of.
Ketchup bird.
A bird had dropped a French fry with ketchup all over my head. And when I wiped my hand and saw that it was ketchup, I flipped out. And I don't usually go in the ocean. I directly went in and wet my hair and wet my head to wash it off. And since then, I don't touch ketchup.
Did you have a moment where you're like, it could be blood?
For a second.
It was like, yeah.
At first I went, oh fuck, what the hell is this shit on my head? And then I went, oh my God, it's ketchup.
Did you
taste it?
No, I did not. I felt it in my hand and it was gross and I couldn't handle
I'm
it.
sorry, but I'm thinking that ketchup French fry on your forehead would be better than bird poop on your forehead. Yes?
Yeah.
Debatable.
Debatable,
Yeah.
I say. When you
Debatable.
hate ketchup though, it's
Yeah.
like
So ever since then,
well, I don't touch ketchup.
okay.
But do you go into the ocean?
I do go in the ocean, but
Now-
on a rare occasion.
Now let me ask you this: do you eat tomatoes?
I love tomatoes.
Weird, because
That's
you
weird,
do
yeah.
know that ketchup is made from tomatoes.
It's the way the ketchup feels on my fingers. It just the consistency of it just turns me.
You
off.
know that you could eat ketchup without necessarily having to finger it.
That's what
I
I was
know.
just thinking.
I know.
Okay.
And if I do,
I don't usually
it's with
touch
a
it.
fork. If it's like if I'm going to pick up a French fry and dip, it's going to be with a fork.
Okay.
Now, do you eat it with French fries?
No
Oh, really?
mayonnaise.
Oh,
Now see, you're doing this thing
You
right
want
now.
this?
No, but I was thinking
I'm not eating them.
there's no ketchup
I don't like
getting
the
on your
taste.
fingers
I
with
don't
the
like the-
ketchup. Oh, well, that's a different story.
I don't
'cause
like the
chips.
taste.
You
Yeah.
know,
Now
it's
you're
different.
doing a thing right now. I just need to talk, and
I know,
I know
I'm
you're trying to
looking
be
at our
polite,
guests.
but you need to make sure that you're speaking into the mic.
I don't want to be rude, guys, but I'm not
They
looking
understand.
at you for the
They
rest
understand.
of the podcast. By the way,
or the cod pass.
The podcast.
Cod pass.
I do that often. It's a form of dyslexia. I don't know where to talk.
Alzheimer's.
So no ketchup for Robin.
No.
Old timers?
Yeah,
Old
time.
timers. Old
Yeah,
timers. It's a disease.
It is.
So one thing I wanted to touch on was that growing up, you guys grew up in New York City,
That's correct.
Correct.
and you grew up Jewish.
Yes.
Yes.
And still are.
Didn't
Did we do
We
the,
didn't change.
the bar mitzvah and everything?
Oh,
The
I did
whole nine, the
full-
whole-
Actually, I did the bar mitzvah when we moved to California.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah.
do you have any siblings?
No
Oh.
siblings. Well,
So
I've
there
got
was-
half siblings and I've got step siblings, but I don't have any full blood siblings.
So were there other half or step siblings that were bar or bat mitzvah?
Everybody.
Everybody was.
No, my
Oh.
step siblings are not Jewish,
Oh, that's correct.
and my half siblings are not bar or bar mitzvah. They are baptized.
Oh, that's
Oh.
true.
Well, there you go.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, Josh, we had on my ex-husband's side of the family, which was the Jewish side of the family, his cousins both had bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah. So they were, they did the whole Hebrew school thing.
You're still doing it.
I'm sorry. We need a new studio. I don't know what to say.
I call this Knights of Round Table is what this studio is. You can shimmy up.
Maybe
Here,
I should shimmy over a little.
come closer to my schmarta.
By the
Here, come
By the
on.
way, we never mentioned what episode this was.
No, I know
we
because
don't know.
no, because we're gonna hold it.
Yeah, we're holding this. We're gonna make sure we like it before we put it out. All right, stop, Josh. Stop.
Okay, sorry. So
I think it's too close.
I'll rearrange. That's
Readjust.
okay. Don't worry about it.
This is our first time with guests, so pardon us.
We're
for
just
trying
getting
to-
That's
used to it
okay.
also.
trying to-
That's
so,
fine.
So the household I grew up in was my father was Jewish. My mom what would we
Just
classify?
Christian.
Christian, and I was not. So for me, it was kind of this weird thing. I remember at a young age asking my mom to explain Christmas, and it was this idea that it was, well, this is what Christmas is, and Jesus Christ, this is his birthday, and he's a special guy, and he did these special things, and then he died, and he comes back.
magic?
He did magic tricks, and then he comes back on Easter, and
That is magic.
and he
It's a good trick.
he comes back and he torments all the Christian children. So I.
And if you're Christian, you know that's not true. But go ahead.
So then I went to my dad, and I said, Dad, explain Jewish thing to me, because all I'd really known about Jewish was that we'd go to my cousin's house and they would sing songs that in
Different language.
different language,
Yeah.
and I didn't know what they were saying, and they were off key, and which I think which is a thing that if you're gonna sing, if you're Jewish and you sing, you have to be off key,
Kind of.
right?
You have to also clap on the 1 and the 3 instead of the 2 and
To 2 and 4, yeah, it's completely backwards.
It's wrong.
So I asked my dad. I said, "Well, what is the whole Jewish? What is that?" And he goes, "Well, we don't think that Jesus is this great guy." Oh, are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hole in your lip. Oh, you got a little bit on your schmarta. Mm-hmm. So then I said, "Well, okay, so Jesus is not like the guy," and he goes, "No," and he goes, "We don't really."
We don't have a guy.
We don't have a guy. But then he looked at me and he said, "But Jesus, your mom's guy, is Jewish." Mm-hmm. And I said,
What?
"Well, this is fucked. This is completely fucked."
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So growing up, we did both. But I'm going to be honest, I didn't really have a grasp on either thing.
The meaning of the religious meaning of either thing.
So over the years, I kind of had to make up my own Jewish religion.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear.
Right. So you did all so Peter, I'm looking at you. So Peter, you did you were bar mitzvahed.
I was bar mitzvahed. I grew up with all of the traditional Jewish holidays, more so for the tradition of them and the family camaraderie and that style rather than the religious components of them.
And was it a big East Coast family?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Growing up, it was
50, 60 people?
not that many, but there was
30, 40?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you guys got together for like Hanukkah and Passover. We
Mm-hmm.
did the Seder. Yeah,
less
no?
getting together, but definitely.
Did
there
you
were-
did you do the Seder every
Oh
year?
yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
do the we still do the Seder
still do
every
this.
year. Yep, Hanukkah. Hanukkah.
Josh knows the prayer.
I know the Seder.
Yeah, Manish Chana.
Baruch atah.
Oh, the Hanukkah.
Oh, the Hanukkah.
Yeah, yeah.
Baruch.
Well, so
Ugh.
so I think there was confusion about that being the prayer,
Like the one.
The
prayer,
Hanukkah
like
prayer?
that's
right?
it.
Well, because it's
We only
actually
do one.
well, it's a protection spell
Oh, what is it protecting us from?
from the Hanukkah Monster. Yeah. So every year the Hanukkah Monster comes, he feeds for eight nights, right? But he's afraid of light, so that's why they light the candles is to and
So
then
they can turn out the lights.
they can
and
turn.
the-
Well, no, you don't want to. I mean, you don't want to turn the lights out. You keep the lights on so the Hanukkah Monster can't get you.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
So
the
we
candles.
add light. So at night,
You light
we
the
have to
candles.
turn the lights off. So
You
we
light
can
the
sleep,
candles.
We light the candles,
And then that's-
this
and the-
protects us from
protects-
Is that what you really thought?
That's the truth.
Oh.
Yeah. That's in the Torah.
Torah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
Torah.
right.
That's
Torah,
right.
Torah
Yeah.
K.
You didn't read that.
No, I never read that.
No.
No. No,
So-
because I was brought up Jewish from, childhood as well.
Same, yeah.
Yeah. And when I was a child and we had the Hanukkah, and Hanukkah was never like the big family experience.
It was close family.
It was just close family.
Did you guys spell it with a C or an H?
Ooh.
Yeah, weird.
We even
I still
spell
don't
it?
really. I don't know that we spelled it ever.
I think I
it's
don't even know.
debatable.
I think it's CH,
CH,
but
yeah.
mean, the non-Jews would call it Hanukkah, and we would call it Hanukkah.
A little thing in your
With a-
throat. Yeah.
So
It's
that's
the
where the
shotgun,
C
yeah.
is. That's where the CH
and
comes.
we just called it Chanukah.
Oh, Chanukah, yeah. So
It's very California.
It is.
It's right.
It's not only California.
Or-
It's like an American.
Or is it
Hanukkah?
Californian?
Yeah.
Nah,
California.
no H in there. So it's got to have the H. Yeah.
have the
So
H.
that's when Peter was a little boy, and we had family holidays around the Jewish holidays. He was taught from the early time what the story was
How to
about
protect-
how the Jews came about what
The monsters.
those Egyptian monsters,
Right.
those animals that
with
were.
the 7 hands.
That's right. And how they, made us into slaves and beat the crap out of us until
Just like the movie.
Yeah, just like the
You know the
movie.
movie?
Chanukah the movie.
The Chanukah.
Are we talking about The
Chanukah movie?
Village by
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan?
No, the movie with Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
Oh, The Ten Commandments.
Ten
Ten
Commandments.
Commandments.
Yeah. Yeah.
We never watched that.
Really?
I have.
Oh, yes, we did.
I have.
Oh, I have not.
Maybe you
Oh,
have.
you're
That's a
missing
good
a
movie.
good movie.
It's a little long, but
Very
it's
long.
It's very long.
We watched. No, we didn't watch that.
What'd you watch? The Birth
You
of
never,
Christ?
you never watched the
I never-
parting of the
Mel
Red
Gibson
Sea.
movie.
Oh, so the parting of the Red Sea. Thank you
That's
for
in
bringing
the
that up.
Ten Commandments.
Okay.
That's the
So the reason, so you guys know that whole story.
yeah, we know that, but we.
Wait. What's the story?
What's the story? You better tell us.
Oh, well, so I think for a long time there was this concern about, where does Manischewitz come from?
From my father's liquor store.
No, well, yes.
He
probably.
had a liquor store,
Yeah.
so we used to get Manischewitz there.
But where he was getting it,
He got it from the purveyor that would sell him from the kosher.
and he would get it from
from
Moses.
Yeah, Moses.
Had parted the Red Sea.
Yeah.
And when it came back, there was a little bit of Red Sea left.
Oh, and that's the Manischewitz
They
wine?
bottled it and they added
Good.
sugar.
they added lots of
Nice
sugar.
They added
theory.
lots of sugar.
That's a good theory.
So literally, Manischewitz translates to leftover Red
Red
Sea.
Sea. Oh, I like that. That's a
It's
good
pretty
one.
tasty. The kids
Yeah,
love it.
It's not
Yeah,
bad.
the kids really,
Really?
love it.
You like
and they
Manischewitz?
serve it in my
Kids,
mother's when my mother lives in assisted living. They serve it every Friday night.
Do they really?
Yes.
And they just
Shabbat.
get trashed, huh?
No, yeah, on Manischewitz wine.
A little bit of Red Sea, never heard it.
No.
No.
There was a shirt that said that.
Mm.
You could get it in
Hebrew.
On the My
And
on the My Mom Sandy.
If you guys go to mymomsandy.com, you can go ahead and sign up now to be on the waiting list for what did I just say the shirt said?
little bit of Red
Little
Sea.
bit of Red Sea.
Manischewitz, ... A little bit of Red Sea.
So I'm glad that you guys also brought up Passover and the Seder, because not a lot of people know that the Seder started because there was a Jewish carpenter, no relation to Jesus Christ, and he had built a long table for the first Seder. But the table, see, and here's the problem. The table was made out of cedar, right? So you could understand, very confused.
With Seder.
So because it was so long, one man said to the other man,
Yeah. Like when you play that game, where it's a telephone. Oh, I can.
So he would say, "Hey, what did we do with the?" And the other man said, "Seder." and then the original man said, "It's fucking Seder."
Okay, it's Seder.
I guess we're doing a Seder.
It's kind of like the street I live on now.
Yeah.
It's called Shalom, but people always say Shalom.
There you go.
It's very similar.
Very similar.
Very similar. And it was probably Shalom at one point, but then a lot of non-Jews moved into my neighborhood,
So
and they
changed it.
changed it to Shalom.
There you go.
And to bring it all back, tomato.
Tomato.
Ketchup or catsup.
That's right.
Catsup.
So Hanukkah was small, small family, but Passover was a bigger thing for you guys?
Yeah. Passover was much more.
Isn't that where you asked the question, why is
Yeah.
tonight different than any other night? And
Correct.
what's your response?
Because the table's made out of cedar.
And
Because you only eat at the cedar table on that night.
And we had to lean
Yeah.
to one side to eat.
Like the Michael Jackson video.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
God. That was a good video.
Smooth Criminal.
Smooth Criminal.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
What was that movie that he did?
I think that was also
Moonwalker?
called
No,
Moonwalker. Yeah, Moonwalker. You know what's weird?
I don't want to talk about Michael Jackson. He's off my radar.
Ooh.
No more discussion. I will not listen to.
He's a
Oh, that's true. He will
is
not.
something we should
He
have
will
talked
not
about
discuss
before.
Michael
So,
Jackson in my world.
So
I don't like him either, Ron.
No, but it is more than that.
Oh.
He's done.
She's got a point.
He's
yeah,
done.
yeah. So so the leaning. So
So yeah, you had my grandfather would be the leaner because he was the oldest.
wait, why did people lean?
Because you're supposed to be in a relaxed position because
Your
why, Peter?
food digests better.
No, there's a reason.
So it was really like a hierarchy type of thing, and you were supposed to be eating as if you were a king.
Right. And since
we were slaves, enslaved,
right,
we weren't able to eat comfortably, and now we're free tribe and free people, so we were supposed to lean as if we were kings.
We never leaned.
I never knew about the lean.
Kind of like lean back.
Now here's an important question: did the chairs have armrests?
well,
They're
I think
supposed to. You're
I
supposed
think
to
my
have, like, a
grandfather.
pillow, like you're supposed to.
Right. And I think it was always the oldest person, which was usually the grandfather or the highest of the. So my grandfather, I remember him leaning back. I don't think my father did. Do you remember,
he was-
Papa?
He was
He didn't lean back.
he was not a leaner.
Was it now? Is this in any way? Because there is. I feel like there was at some point a hip hop song, like "Lean Back." Lean back.
Yeah, it was.
Did that?
I think it came into.
it's Fat Joe, so
It
It's
came-
probably-
and he's Jewish,
he might have needed to lean back.
but he's probably Jewish.
Yeah, he's probably Jewish.
I totally missed the lean thing. We never did the lean thing.
Yeah, we didn't do the lean. You know what we did for? I think it was for Passover. We did Afikomen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah, that's a
so
big.
so Afikomen. So I don't know if you know, but I was told. So Afikomen was actually that's a poet. It was a Jewish poet, and he was born, and he was known for doing open mic. He did a lot of open mic nights.
I didn't know that. About
Yeah,
Afi.
specifically in Santa Monica.
Oh, I didn't.
And-
Is his first name Afi?
Yes,
Yeah,
last
Afi
name's
Komen,
Last
yeah.
name Coben.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So he so then and I don't know how they ended up taking it to be the hide the matzah, and find it, but he was really prominent in the Jewish religion, and obviously they named a hidden matzah after him, but he had very good poetry.
I don't think
Wow.
people know. Tell them really what the Afikomen is. I mean, we know it's the poet.
Why are you asking
but-
me? I just explained. You
I
should
know,
ask.
but
you
you're
should ask
talking about
Peter
how they hide the matzah. What's the purpose of hiding the matzah?
to find it.
I think he's right.
Well, you get a gift. You get like a treat or
Yeah.
a reward
supposed
for
to, like,
finding the matzah.
Well,
it's kind of like an
supposed to
Easter
make a
egg
deal.
hunt,
exactly.
but with matzah
exactly.
in a pretty cover.
Yeah,
as
wrapped
opposed
up
to
in
eggs.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then in our family, what we used to do back in my grandfather, when whoever found the matzah, and it was always all of the grandchildren and everybody, we would then have to bargain with my grandfather to how much
Jewish.
how much it is very Jewish, how much money we would get for the afikomen. So we would all start out with like really high, $25 for afikomen. My grandfather would like, oh, you know, I have 5 grandchildren.
So this is like, but this is where this comes from.
Yeah, this is where it comes from. And to
The
this
idea of being
day,
Jewish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Financially Jewish?
Financially
Yeah.
Jewish.
exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
And then to this day, we do the same thing. Of course, we don't start at 25, but you know, each kid walks away with $1 or $2 or $3, you know, in their pocket because they have to bargain out with the
we never do
head
that
of the
either.
household.
So did, in your guys' situation, did the head of the household, was it ever like a, I've got 2, do I hear 3? Give me 3, give me 3, give me 3. I have 3, I hear 3, I have 4, 4, give me 4, 450, got 450, 455. I hear 5, give me 5, right, 5 right there, 5 right there. Was that ever?
Was that the case?
No one knows, but actually in my 20s, I was a odd
What do they call it?
Auctioneer.
an auctioneer. I was going to say an auditioner.
That's
and that's
close.
not a thing.
And that was auctioneer.
Yeah, my uncle, who usually hosts Passover, is Dutch, and he can't speak that quickly.
Oh,
So
okay.
he is not an auctioneer.
I thought where that was going was you were going to say my uncle, who usually hosts it, spent time as an auctioneer. And I was going to say, well, that's incredible.
He's
But
Dutch.
he is an old Dutch.
Old Dutch.
He's an
That's
old
right.
Dutch.
Did he start the potato chip company?
I bet they make
Possible.
pretzels. Do you think they make pretzels too?
I think
Old
they do.
Dutch?
Old Dutch pretzels.
Yeah.
It's-
Why do you think that?
I don't
And
know.
pancakes.
Because
I think they make
because
pancakes
there's like a
also.
Dutch. When I used to live on the East Coast, we used to have stuff like that delivered to not in like tins. They deliver them to your house. Charlie's Chips, and they
But that's
had
not a Dutch company.
But they had a Dutch pretzel. They called it a Dutch
yeah, Charles
pretzel.
Chips was out here too.
Yeah.
Did you guys
They
just
were
become
good.
best friends?
Yeah,
Well,
well, we have
Charlie's
some
Chips.
things in common.
we have some things in common.
Do you guys know what a Dutch oven is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, just curious. Because I just felt like
Do
that's...
you?
Yeah, what is it?
You tell me.
You tell me.
No, you tell
No,
me.
you tell me.
No, you tell
I'll
me.
tell you.
Silly,
You tell me, silly.
silly bitch. You, don't touch me.
Don't talk to your mother that way.
Don't talk to me that way.
I'm gonna go away.
So did you find that, how old were you when you moved to California?
10. I was 10.
And did you find that there was a difference growing up Jewish in New York as opposed to growing up Jewish in California?
Not really. I think we slid right into a very similar Jewish community here that
Where-
we were
where
a
was
part of. When we moved here, we
Yeah.
lived in Agora Hills.
Okay.
And yeah, I think the Jewish community there was very similar to the Jewish community that I was living in New York.
On the contrary, it was more Jewish in Agora Hills than it was in
Really?
Queens, because at least we had
It's very Russian in Queens.
yeah, but we had diversity in our area. I mean, Peter's friends, he had 2 black friends, and he had a few Spanish friends. I mean, he didn't have a lot of Jewish friends in those
It's
days,
true. It's really white out in Agora Hills. So it was
and
just-
they were all Jewish because half of them were from the East Coast.
Oh, that's interesting. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's funny growing up, I grew up in this area. And on truthfully, because I know I've been making a lot of stuff up in this podcast and in everyday life. But yeah,
Yes.
but typically, but so growing up here, I honestly didn't go to school with a lot of kids that were Jewish. I did not have a lot of Jewish kids in school. And I remember always early on when you're talking about Hanukkah or this or that, and they were just like, what's that? You know, and then I would have to say about the monster, and you know,
Tell the whole story. The story of Chanukah.
it was weird, and I feel like I went through a phase where I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to say that I was Jewish because no one, you know, I felt like no one else was, so no one got it, you know. And then I think as time went on and as I grew up, and I think as I matured, it was kind of like, well, this is who I am, and this is what I come from, and this is okay to talk about this, you know.
Well, and the community has changed significantly in this area because
Yep.
this studio is directly across the street from the Jewish Community Center of Redondo Beach.
Right.
which, my kids went to school there, and
I applied for a job there.
yeah, that's a great place.
But you know what? They didn't hire me because
you're
I
not
wasn't
Jewish.
Jewish.
Wasn't Jewish.
Well, and also not
Which they have
I-
non-Jewish people that work
I
there.
know,
That's
but
interesting.
because I have a bachelor's degree in child development, and so when I went through my divorce,
Oh, don't wave that in everyone's face. Say it again. What do you have? Say it.
I'm
say
waving
it
it
again.
in everybody's face. Anyway, when I went through my divorce, I went and applied for a job there, and I went for an interview, and they really liked me, and I really liked them, and I thought, okay, I'm going to get the job. Of course, it wasn't a very high paying job because you don't,
That's because we're teachers.
I was going to say we pay our teachers and our healthcare workers the least amount of money ever, even though we entrust them with the most precious, our elderly and our children, right? Mm-hmm. So go figure. But anyway, some of the kids were singing a song, a Jewish song that, you would have, if you had been in preschool or whatever, Hebrew school, you would have probably known.
Baruch Atah Shmarta.
No, but I didn't know it. And they're like, oh, you don't know that song? And I said, no. And I said, I'm not Jewish. And they said, oh, close the door right on me. I mean, really, it was like,
that
wow.
doesn't seem like them. They do
Well,
have
I think
non-Jewish people.
I know, but I think they wanted me to be able to really relate to the kids on that religious level as well. I mean, I get
sure,
that.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I felt, like, seriously, like I'm totally qualified.
There was a great episode of King of the Hill. Did you guys ever watch King of the Hill?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
cartoon? There's a great episode where Peggy Hill pretends to be a nun to get a substitute teacher job at the okay
Yes.
okay
I'm
at
fine.
the at this like Catholic school, and the kids are like, oh, Miss Peggy, what happens if you lie? And she goes, well, you go straight to hell. And then, so you could have lied your way through it.
I do have a question though for Robin and Peter. Because I never really got this from my ex-husband. What do the Jewish people believe happens when you die?
You die. You just.
That's what I thought.
You
It's
just die.
That's pretty like.
No, it's not, because first of all, there's many people believe in different things when you die, and I think in the scheme of dying,
Yeah.
death is final. Death is the end of your life. And if you want to believe that you go to a better place or that you're welcome in a better place and that something great is waiting for you, that's great. Even in the Jewish religion, you can believe that there's a spiritual being afterwards. You can be, there's no heaven and hell,
Yeah.
but it means you're dead. You're dead. There's no heaven or hell, but
Yeah.
you
See,
have.
I choose to feel. I mean, I kind of feel like seriously, like this is all there is in life. I mean, I want to believe that there's something better than this when I die.
I want to believe that as
Yeah.
well. But
I mean,
I
I
believe
don't-
it
I
in a
don't-
spiritual level more
Yeah.
so than because it was written in a book that
Right.
there's heaven and hell. I don't
Right.
believe that's thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of on the same basis as how we created.
Yeah.
I mean, we believe in evolution.
Right.
And Christians or Catholics believe in Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
But we believe that there was an evolution that occurred, and that's how the humans came to be. So that's where things are. It's just a different belief,
yeah.
but it's not a final end to what your belief is. It's just you're dead.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Yeah. See, I always thought that was kind of depressing. I mean, I want to believe, because death to me doesn't sound like a great thing. So I want to believe that there's something after that. Like give me the carrot. So I can
Well, I
cross the rainbow bridge.
That's for animals.
That's for animals.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
for animals.
Have you seen Coco?
No.
Oh, it's really good.
That's a really good movie.
What is it about?
Dia de los Muertos, but like
Day of the Dead?
Yeah.
Oh. Spanish.
See,
It is
you didn't
good.
think I'd know what that was. Remember, you guys had to do stuff in school for that.
Yeah. Spanish class.
I worked in hospice for a few years, and so I worked with dying and dead people.
Yeah.
And it can be very beautiful,
Yeah.
dying and being dead.
I hate hospice,
Okay.
just so you know.
Okay.
I'll tell you why later.
You guys started as such good friends, and I feel like
I don't, you listen, you know what? I like Robin, even though she worked for hospice. Okay. I mean, I don't have anything against, I mean, I think hospice, like right now we have my mother on hospice, and we had my father on hospice, but with my mother, she's not like terminally ill. She's just not well.
She sees people.
But my father was terminally ill when we put him on hospice, and I just really felt like it was, just drug him up and let him die type of thing. I mean, in a way, humane. But I have to say, now we have the assisted suicide pill here in California.
It's not that easy to get.
I know it's not that
Really
easy to
hard.
get, but I'm going to say this, that if our animals are sick, we take them to the vet and they give them a shot and they go. And I think that's humane. When our elderly get sick or are dying,
We bring him to the vet.
we start.
Think about that.
No, we give them morphine. We start them on morphine,
Well,
and we give them morphine until they die. So it's almost like, I mean, they can linger for days, for weeks, for a long time.
But I think honestly,
I don't think it's as humane.
I just don't think that we are quite there as a society yet to say, say that you were sick, right?
Yeah, but it would be a choice that I would have,
Right,
that
but
I would make for myself.
But I think what the big issue is though is that if you become a point where you're incoherent, right, and even if you've signed
I'm writing
something,
it down in advance. Okay?
right,
Absolutely.
but what I'm saying though is that then it becomes my choice
Who makes
Right.
the choice
or
as
Sam's
to
choice, and I
give you
think
the
that
pill?
there is something that's a little kind of weird about that situation, and I think also it's the burden now that person has to carry, which is I killed my mom.
Well, I feel that way about my father. I'm the one who, I mean, granted, I got talked about hospice with my mother and my brothers, but basically I'm the one who said, yeah, let's put him on hospice. So yeah, I feel guilty about that. And I think, what if we had tried to give him more medication? I don't think it would have been a good thing for him, but
What I'm saying though is how much worse
no,
would it have been?
I understand that. In a situation like that, I mean, like I would never say, oh, my mother needs to have the suicide pill. I mean, I don't want to make that decision either. But what I'm saying is for myself, like there was the gal, I mean, the reason we have it is that gal who had brain cancer. She was in her 20s and she had to move to Oregon or Washington to get the suicide pill. And she didn't want to linger. She knew she was going to die. Her husband knew it. Everybody knew it. And if you don't want to go through that, I don't want to, my last impression of my father is when he was, agitated and crazy on the narcotics. And that's what I think of as the last time I saw my dad. I couldn't even let you see him for, a couple days.
No, but I went up and saw him.
I know, but when you saw him, he was calm. He was very calm.
Peter and I experienced hospice together because Peter saw my dad in hospice, and he was
Quite a different experience.
Quite a different experience. I mean, he was
very, very happy and
treated beautifully.
And
right up until the end.
Yeah, this doctor, the doctor came to the house to. My father was only on it for 4 days. Wednesday, he passed away Saturday morning. But the doctor came and have a chip, Peter. Do you think nobody can hear that?
No, I hope they can.
Now here you go.
And that's Old Dutch potato chips.
That's right.
Ketchup flavored.
Ketchup
Available
flavored.
only in Canada.
Yum,
and if you go
yum.
to olddutch.com right now and you enter promo code MyMomSandy, you're
No,
going to get...
My Mom Robin.
There you go.
You can either
No, it's
enter
My
promo
Mom
code
Robin.
MyMomSandy, My Mom Robin, or My Girlfriend Caitlin, and you're going to get 20% off your... Not mine, yours.
My girlfriend.
Yeah,
His girlfriend, Caitlin.
You're going to get 20% off your first order of Old Dutch potato chips in whatever flavor you want, or grab an assorted pack now.
And now that we're
I'm just kidding.
now that we have our new sponsor, Old Dutch.
are honestly giving us no money. So, okay, so the hospice thing, right? So, look, I just...
Put that to bed.
Yeah, I mean, look, I
That's
think we can agree to
It's not a
disagree.
happy
There's
subject.
kind of a pun there. Put that to
Set it down to rest.
There
There
you
you
go.
go. There
That's
you go.
even better.
And put a pill in it and let it die. That's weird. I'm sorry. That was really bad.
Put a pill in it.
Yeah.
I think it's put a pin in it, isn't it?
Oh, I changed it.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about this.
Hospice. Yeah, I gotcha.
So one thing I wanted to touch on, I wasn't completely done with the, because I wanted to talk about Yom Kippur, but I guess we don't have to talk about that. Because that literal translation is pink bird. Because
the Yom Kippur.
the Yom Kippur.
I
Thank
think
you.
we had this conversation.
Yeah, because as the pink bird comes to the villages, and if you don't put out snacks, it actually takes your firstborn child away.
That's right. I remember having this
That's
conversation
great.
over a haircut.
Yeah, Yom Kippur.
The Yom Kippur.
And then that's why they fast, because they have to put their food out. They have no food left.
Right. Oh, great
Because
thing.
it only comes by
Once a year.
Once a year.
the Yom Kippur.
The
Yeah,
Yom
the
Kippur.
Yom-
The Yom Kippur. Yeah, that's good.
So I did want to touch on something, because there was something that me and Peter had realized, or I guess Peter and I guess that's how it's supposed to be said.
Peter and I.
There's something that Peter and I realized early on about.
Do you know how to tell the difference, whether or not it's me and Peter or Peter and I?
It's I before E, except after P.
Actually, exactly right.
Yeah, I know. I went to school. So got a Bachelor of Arts in child development.
There you go. Like mother, like son.
Yeah. So I actually don't have that. I didn't.
No, he didn't really do that.
I didn't
folks.
graduate college. So, but I'm a very successful hairstylist, famous podcast host,
And various other things.
tons of other things. So, one thing that Peter and I had realized that we had in common is that we both grew up. We're very close in age. And by the way, you just had a birthday. Happy birthday!
Oh, happy birthday, Peter. How old are you?
27 this year.
I'm 49.
It's pretty good.
Every year.
It's pretty good. I think I'll grow a few more years, but
Yeah.
27 is good for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing
Well,
that
you're nowhere close in age to Josh, that if you're only 27.
I'll be 38.
So you met Josh when you were 17?
No, I just turned 38,
Oh, okay.
actually. But I'm so glad you thought I was 27.
I know. I'm like, gosh, that's kind of weird.
He was.
You guys have a lot in common.
he was
for
grad-
10
And he has
10-year
a
age
9-year-old
difference.
son.
He was
So
he was graduating high school. He's got a 9-year-old son. I was
Yeah.
like, "You want to kick it?" He's like, "I guess." I was giving teenage prices on his haircuts. He was bagging groceries at the local Vons.
Yeah, that's how you met him, huh?
I met him, actually. It was at a birthday party, and he was doing magic for kids.
For kids, yeah,
Oh, really?
bunch of 9-year-olds, yeah. So
Right.
I did that earlier today.
I know you do.
Yeah, not fun. So
I know you don't particularly like to perform in front of kids.
don't say it like that.
Well, they're not I don't think as welcoming as adults.
Which is so funny because
They were great.
and my career, I'm a teacher,
Yes.
elementary school teacher.
Very
so
successful teacher.
I prefer to perform in front of kids way more than adults.
Yeah, but don't they ask questions like
How'd you do that?
Yeah, how'd you do that?
Well,
And
I asked that question too.
She did too.
do, do that again.
Could you
or,
do it
I
again?
know, I know how you did that.
Oh, yeah,
what
that's
they
all
say.
of
But
that.
that's the
Yeah.
cycle, though, right? Where you have kids, and then as
I could do that.
people grow old, they get some of that childhood thing back, and then that's when Robin's just like, "How'd you make it levitate?"
And you said a magician never tells
That's
the
was-
secret.
exactly what he said.
There was one little shit that said,
I don't believe in
"I don't believe in
magic.
magic." I said, "Go home." Go
See,
home.
that's why you don't see an adult would never say that to you.
Right.
No,
They just walk away.
the difference between kids and adults is that kids speak the honest truth,
Right.
but adults judge you the entire time you're speaking.
That's true.
And they never speak
Kids
the
don't
honest
judge
truth.
you. Kids don't judge you, but they will say exactly how they're feeling.
Yeah.
But the adults, on the other hand,
I bet that little shit though went home tonight and said, "You know what, Mom? They had a magician at the thing, and I told him I don't believe in magic."
I told him to fill a bathtub up and try to walk on water. Like, good luck.
And hold your breath.
Hold your breath. So one thing that
You're going under.
that we realized was that so you guys, so I don't want to give away ages, but you guys have got to be somewhat close.
We're
in age.
very close.
We're
in
very
age.
close.
So you guys grew up, and you guys had me and Peter around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, I think a big popular thing at that time was cigarettes.
Yeah.
You guys were both cigarette smokers.
Yeah.
Was there times in which you guys ever thought, as you're holding your beautiful newborn baby,
No.
maybe I should not be
No.
blowing
No.
tar sickness into their face?
No.
It wasn't-
It wasn't like that.
No.
I mean, I quit during pregnancy because the doctor said you shouldn't smoke.
I don't think my mom did.
Lucky
Well, I
me.
didn't.
Did you?
I
you
quit.
didn't. You didn't quit.
No, I did.
you
I
did
quit.
quit.
But as soon as he was born and I was nursing, I was smoking. So it was like
So you.
I was smoking and nursing at the same time.
So you had Peter on a boob,
and
you-
I was sitting with a cigarette.
Oh, Robin.
It was wonderful.
I'm going to tell you something.
Oh my God, you did it too.
I did it too.
Oh,
and
fuck me.
And I'm
no
so,
wonder you guys are so screwed
and
up,
I'm
right?
so embarrassed. I swear, when I was thinking about this podcast, because I knew this was going to come up, and I'm thinking, I don't think I'm going to cop to that because that's like so uncool
Now.
But yeah, I mean, that was like the only time I could really relax and smoke.
Exactly.
Was when the baby
He was nursing.
So here I am
Smoking
Wait a minute, Josh. You don't remember like traveling?
Don't you remember coughing?
You don't remember
While
flying
you
on a
were eating?
plane back
Oh,
in the
yeah.
day?
So my
Oh, yeah, they used to smoke.
so let me ask you this.
We've
So in the first episode, because now I feel like my whole childhood is a question. In the first
It
episode,
certainly is.
In the first
Who
episode,
was your mother?
We talked about how you dropped me down the stairs, and you said you tripped on a dog toy. Were you reaching for cigarettes?
Oh, yes. They were halfway down the staircase. I had dropped them and I had to run down and get them. So, yeah, I thought, well, I could either leave the baby here and let the dog get him.
One time it was a blizzard going on, right? And I was out of cigarettes, and Peter was maybe like 5.
And you made him walk to the store.
No. I called my mother on the phone, and I said, Mom, sit on the phone with him. I'm running down to the corner to get a pack of cigarettes.
I never did that.
Well, I live right on the corner of my street, right on the corner.
I'm thinking maybe you got him all dolled up in a snow attire and took him with you.
No.
Sandy, this is the same corner store that she then, when I was 9 and 10, used to
Send
send me
him
to buy the cigarettes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh,
They
yeah.
sold them to
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, because they knew her. So
I'd throw him out of the car. Go get me a pack
get
of
me cigarettes.
cigarettes.
Peter would walk in. They go, "Hey, Petey, hey, you want those Marlboro lights? I got them for you. Hey, tell Robin we said hello.
Yeah,
Petey,
that's
take
it.
care. Huh?
Yeah.
You a good boy. You a good boy, Petey.
basically.
Basically. Well, you know,
Petey, I like that new haircut. You're looking sharp.
I
huh?
remember
Robin,
plenty
take
of times traveling with her. I remember waking up after sleeping on an overnight flight to California to visit my aunt.
Right.
Waking up and having her smoking on the plane,
On the plane. We used to smoke on
ashing
the plane.
next to my head in the armrest ashtray.
Yeah.
They don't even put
Well,
those
one
there
class-
anymore.
Waking me up in my bed in the morning with a cigarette hanging
out.
over her mouth.
Well,
like,
listen, when we went to Dubrovnik, Josh was what did we see? You were 2 or 3, and we flew on Yugoslav Airlines. And back in the day, again, everybody smoked. But I'm going to tell you, these flight attendants, they walked around the aisle with a lit cigarette hanging out of their mouth while they're serving you food. I'm like, oh my God, this is
she used
gross.
to cook with the cigarette hanging out of her mouth right over.
Well,
her
I
mouth.
have the best one. When Peter,
But you knew you weren't flicking the ashes in the
no.
food. I don't believe that the flight attendants really
No.
cared. I don't,
Yeah.
you know.
when Peter was like 2.5, 3,
Yeah.
and you're getting out of diapers. And, I was a single mom in those days already. So he was getting out of diapers, getting ready to go like to preschool or whatever. And I kept thinking, how am I going to teach him how to pee? I'm a woman. He's got a little penis. How am I going to teach him how to pee?
Robin, he still does.
Standing up. Yeah, that's true. He still does.
The smallest little schmecky.
A little schmecky. I used to throw my cigarette into the toilet and tell him to make it like a boat. And make it go all the way around like
To this day, I have the best aim.
You know what I thought you were going to say? I thought you were going to say, "Oh, toilet's on fire. You got to put it out."
No,
Get your
no.
hose.
I thought
He
maybe
used to-
she held it and said, okay, take aim, now pee
No,
on it.
no, it wasn't that bad.
Use your little fire hose, Pete.
Yeah,
okay?
he used
To
his
put it
little
out.
fire hose to move the little
That's pretty
cigarette.
good.
around.
That's actually
it's a good
pretty
idea.
good. Yeah, that's really good.
Well, this explains why Peter in his 20s worked on the docks. He was
Yeah, well, times were different. Let's put it that
Yes, they were.
So
Very different.
So I mean, look, I do remember. I don't remember. I mean, I know that it was something on planes. I don't necessarily have memories of waking up on a plane with smoke, but I know. I mean, I remember the ashtrays and the armrests. I remember there was a restaurant we used to go to eat, and I remember they had a cigarette vending machine.
Oh yeah.
And that was, I mean, but it was
Oh,
all
what restaurant was that?
the Red Onion.
Oh yeah.
Right up in the,
Love the Red Onion.
yeah. But that was but that was a thing. And I think, even now when you go back and you watch, I'm a big fan of older TV shows. So, when I go back and watch like an episode of I Love Lucy,
Oh yeah, they're smoking.
I mean, they're all fucking smoking.
Yeah.
And then Little Ricky, they're smoking around Little Ricky.
There was a cigarette
Around
vending
little
machine.
fucking Ricky.
There was a cigarette vending machine at the bar location of my bar mitzvah. And I remember the bad kids that were at my bar mitzvah were going to the cigarette vending machine and buying cigarettes so they could have cigarettes to smoke.
later. Yeah,
13 years old.
Where else can we buy them?
Yeah.
That's right.
Unless we live on the corner and we
Right.
send our son in.
Yeah,
for it.
right.
Right.
But then, and you think about it, right? Like, I mean, they had candy cigarettes when I was a kid.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
What
me
a,
too.
what
Are
a
they still-
fucking, what a horrible fucking
Don't
thing.
they
And
have them
Yeah.
now still?
No.
I don't know. No.
That was one of my first pickup lines, actually.
Hey, babe, you want a candy cigarette?
No, I was at sleepaway camp.
Hey, you
My
want
mom
to see
sent
my
me-
little
My mom sent me a care package.
Light this up. I'll put it out with my little fire hose.
Oh, I remember my mom sent me a care package and there was candy cigarettes in it. And I was sitting with this girl that I was like
Yeah, you want a hit of this?
dating
Yeah.
or whatever, kissing.
How
and
old were
I
you?
pulled out, I was probably 11.
Yeah.
And I pulled out a candy cigarette and I said, watch this. And, if you blew
Yeah,
into
yeah.
it,
Oh,
the
yeah.
smoke
Smoke
would
came
come out.
Yeah.
And she was like, that was like what I did. And she was,
It's like
That's
magic.
cool.
at that point on, she was my girlfriend.
She was like,
Her name was Carrie.
Yeah,
I
right.
could say her last name, but I don't know. She
no.
knows.
And then when you got,
She might be listening.
and then you guys went to prom and everyone made fun of her and then she lit the whole school on fire.
Yeah, exactly. The blood dripping.
the
Yeah.
blood
from the walls.
dripping off the
Yeah.
ceiling.
They made a true Hollywood
Story
movie
out
about
of
that.
it.
Yeah.
Well, they also had the bubblegum cigarettes. Those were
Yeah.
easier to blow the smoke out
Same
of.
thing.
Yeah.
Because they had the
it was
puff
all
there,
candy,
the-
yeah.
So what's so different about the Juul and the vaping things? They're not that different.
Nowadays.
Yeah, nowadays.
So I mean, look, I've never smoked cigarettes. I don't use vapes. I don't even smoke weed. So for me, but I have a lot of friends who either were cigarette smokers who have quit and now have moved on to the vape or the Juul or the Juul vape, right, whatever. And I mean, I think it's that same kind of thing where they're still getting it. Maybe the nicotine numbers are down, but I think they're still saying it's still garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a caller? Do we have a caller?
It's a caller.
Your first caller? The same day as your first guest?
That's our
Wow.
first guess. Wow.
Wow.
Look at
Who would
that.
have thought?
Incredible.
Wow.
I think it was really interesting to see what kind of world we lived in back then, in which cigarettes.
Listen, we didn't have seatbelts in those days either.
no seatbelts.
Right, Sandy?
I don't think we had them growing up, but
No.
but we had them when we had
We
kids.
did have them
yeah.
when we had kids,
Yeah.
but we didn't have seatbelts when we
No,
were growing. We managed to survive. I mean,
amazingly.
and Peter sat in the front. My father would call it the catbird seat.
Yeah.
The arm
The
between the
death
two.
trap, yeah.
Yeah, Peter used to sit up there all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
No seatbelt.
No seatbelt.
Right in the front
People-
windshield.
you guys
Right,
would-
ready to go right,
Right
Right
through,
through.
right?
Right
I think it
through.
was I think it was on purpose, actually.
No.
Your
You know,
mother
it's-
would never have done that to you.
What's
on
crazy
purpose.
is that
we just didn't know. I mean, the
We
things
didn't
were-
know, but life was good. We didn't have all the problems they have
I know.
now.
We
I
didn't
mean,
have
nowadays
school
you guys would be
shootings. We didn't
you guys
have-
would be
We would be arrested.
Child Protective
Try
Services.
totally.
Yeah.
CPS.
Oh, yeah.
CPS.
CPS.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You guys smoking with your children?
CPS here.
We have
Officer
to.
Fasten.
This is Officer Fasten from the CPS. Rumor has it you guys are putting your kids
Smoking
in the cars
around
with
your children
no seatbelts,
with no
and
seatbelts.
breastfeeding with cigarettes.
Well, at least we did a good thing. We nursed our kids, right?
Yeah.
We
And
breastfed
so-
our
but
kids.
yeah.
They say that's good for them.
Do you think that we got a little bit of? Do you think that me and Peter, like, had we been
Got a little
X-rayed, we
nicotine,
would have had
you got
a
a little
little lung
nicotine.
damage back then?
No.
No, not lung damage,
No.
but
We weren't doing meth and we weren't doing
Thank God, Robin.
heroin. We weren't, serious about the drug. We were just smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, but it was probably in the nicotine was probably in the breast milk.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Now I think back.
all said and done.
Yeah, now I think it was.
No, I mean, but we didn't. Again, it was like
They didn't know
I know
that.
it was no
Little-
big deal then.
Little
It was
breast
not-
milk nicotine cocktail.
It tasted good, right, Peter?
I never got any complaints from Josh either.
Neither did I.
It's like
Hey,
when,
Petey.
when it was time to
Hey,
eat,
Petey.
he ate,
He ate.
whether I was smoking or
Right,
not.
right, exactly.
Hey, Petey, how good is this homemade breast milk, huh? You like this stuff?
Yum yum.
All right. Well, look, I don't know if I have much more. I feel like we covered growing up Jewish, growing up East Coast, West Coast Jewish, growing up half Jewish. We
Growing up cigarette Jewish.
We talked about growing up in a world in which cigarettes were more important than cash money and your family, and
Cash money.
the paper dollar.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Why were they more important than that? Cash
What?
money. I don't know where that came from.
It was like it's
That is the thing.
what the kids called money.
Oh,
Big cash money,
oh, okay. Whatever.
cash money.
All right.
And I think we covered all the holidays. We got Christmas and Hanukkah coming
You
up.
did not cover Rosh Hashanah.
We didn't.
We could do that on the next
That was
time. And
There you go.
so
I think she's coming
she just
back.
invited herself back.
so really
Bring chips.
So really quickly, Rosh Hashanah was a rush to get this
Hashanah.
to get to
The
Shauna.
girl.
to get to Shauna. It was a famous Jewish
totally.
woman.
Yeah.
She was hot.
And she could no, Mom.
She was
No,
very attractive.
You obviously don't know.
Shauna?
Shauna was a fortune teller, so there was a rush to find out how the next year was going to go.
Oh, I thought Shauna was just a hot chick, and there was a rush to go get her.
Wrong again.
No?
Wrong again. Obviously, you didn't read the Torah.
Obviously, no, I did not read
No.
the Torah, and I was not brought up Jewish. So
And that's why you don't know about what it is.
yes, but yeah, thank you for clearing that up for us.
You're welcome. So I just want to say that obviously all that stuff was it's all in good fun, and I don't really believe those stories.
Any of the stories that he told.
In case there is anyone listening who's
True
just like, we are
disclaimer,
going to
really.
murder him. But yeah, if you guys have anything else that you want to touch on or talk about,
I just want to say thanks so much for having us on.
Yeah,
I really
it was-
appreciate it.
it was
It was
great.
really
Excited.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll
it was
definitely
real fun.
we'll make some plans. We'll have you guys come back on. We'll talk about some more stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, thank you guys for being our first official
Our first
excited.
My
on-air
Mom Sandy
guest. Yeah.
in person in the studio. Oh, by the way, and we didn't talk the studio. The My Mom Sandy official podcast studio was actually built on an Indian burial ground.
Oh,
Wow.
I heard about that. I
Yeah.
think episode 15?
The ghost stories.
13.
Ghost
Yeah.
stories.
13.
13.
You know what else I heard? That you're doing a call-in episode. I'm really excited.
We're going to do a live episode, which by the time this has aired, the live episode might already be done or coming up. We're not sure. But yeah,
Got it.
if it's already happened, you guys should both call in. We'd love to
Yeah,
talk to you guys
love
again.
to.
And if it's already happened, then maybe you guys already called in, and now we're speaking about the future. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. It was
Thank
a pleasure
you.
talking to both of you guys,
Thank
and
you.
we look forward to having you guys on again.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you both.
Thank you.
It was really nice having you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you.
And now we can really party down.
Do you have anything else?
I do.
Oh,
My normal sign off.
go for it.
All right, very good.
All right. Well, wasn't that great?
That was terrific. I can't wait to really hear it in real life. Yeah, no, I just want to say I really enjoyed meeting Robin and hearing her stories about the Jewish holidays, which, by the way, her stories are true. Yours are not.
I don't know. I think that they differ a little bit.
They differ a lot.
Questionable.
Okay.
I would urge, if anyone has any questions about what the Jewish holidays and how they go, I would get the revised edition of the Torah, the Josh revised edition.
Oh, I didn't know you did that. Is that something you do in your spare time?
I'm a writer. It's called the Jorah. So
That's another good makeup. I love that.
Yeah.
The Jorah.
the Jorah.
The
So
Jorah. It's Josh's version of the Torah.
so you guys, it's great. But yeah, we did have a great time
We
with
had
them.
a good time. I like I said, I really enjoy Robin and yeah, I mean, her and I are about the same age, just like you and Peter are.
Right.
So, yeah, it was interesting going back 30 something years and talking about how you guys were raised and what we did, the embarrassing things that we did back then that we would never do now because they're so taboo.
Very taboo now.
Yes.
Very taboo. The other thing that I know that you wanted to touch on, because we haven't had a chance to talk about it, and you've been kind of holding on to it for a couple of weeks now, is that Peter's girlfriend Caitlin brought you some ketchup potato chips from Canada.
From Canada, yes, it was quite nice. They brought us gifts when they came. What did they? Oh, they brought us. Oh God, Canadian Smarties. Which, by the way, Canadians know nothing about fucking Smarties.
Boom.
The Canadian Smartie is seriously, it's a shitty M&M.
Not even a good M&M.
It's not even a good M&M. It's a shitty M&M. So yeah, Canadians don't know how to, and it's just so weird. It's like, I don't know. Like we have, I mean, our Smarties are totally different. It's like you said, it's like a Canadian M&M. We'll post a picture of them
Yes.
on Instagram. The ketchup chips are really good. One of them is made by Lay's, which is interesting because they don't sell them here. And the other one is what? Old
Old Dutch.
Old Dutch. Now, I prefer the Old Dutch to the Lay's.
So you tried both of them, obviously, in the last few weeks.
Yes.
Since we've interviewed.
And actually, Caitlin sent 2 more bags.
She sent some more bags
yes,
over, yeah.
Yes, I think she's going to keep us stocked on ketchup chips.
You wanted to say thank you.
Yes, absolutely, Caitlin. I appreciate you doing it. But just so you know, don't bother with the Lay's anymore because I don't think they're as good as the Old Dutch. I think the Old Dutch is better. Did you taste the Lay's?
I did not taste the Lay's because the Lay's ones are actually not vegan. They have milk ingredients.
Yes.
So that'll put me on the porcelain throne for a while.
Yeah, really, for a while.
But I thought the Old Dutch ketchup chips were good. Now, you had heard something recently, which I think solved
Oh, yeah. And well, this is what I'm hoping that Caitlin calls in when we have our live episode because I do want to discuss this. Listening to the Kings games, the King broadcasts on TV, Jim Fox has talked about turkey dinners around Thanksgiving with ketchup. And I'm like, what the hell? I mean, what are the Canadians like? Fascinated and
They're hungry.
obsessed with ketchup? I mean, how could you... is that like their gravy? I don't get it.
Hungry. They're hungry for that ketchup.
I don't get it. I don't get what the ketchup craze is in Canada, but I don't know. That's just weird to me. Maybe Caitlin can enlighten us on that, the history of ketchup in Canada, because I've never seen such a thing. I've never ever heard of taking turkey and stuffing with ketchup. It's like, what a way to ruin it.
But but it's possible that the Canadians have never heard about putting ketchup on tacos. What if that caught on up in Canada?
They would probably love it.
That's true.
Oh God, they'd love it. They might even do it already, and we don't even know. Yeah, well,
they're the originators.
We'll ask Caitlin. Yeah.
What's his name's mother's brother was Canadian. That's where it started.
What's his name's mother's brother?
Yeah.
What's his name?
What's his
not
name?
important.
What's his name?
Oh yeah, what's his name?
Because that's where you got it from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't that how the ketchup taco started?
Oh, well, no, yeah, but it started from his mother.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
That we'll find, if we trace the family tree, we'll find out that his
Back
mother's
in
brother
Canada, was
a Canadian, and
yeah.
that's how it started.
No, I think they're Welsh and
all right,
and UK-ish
English
in ancestry. Yes.
United Kingdom.
Yes.
Kingdom of the United.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, again thank you, Caitlin. I appreciate. It was really quite the treat. And, like I said, I think the Old Dutch is better than the Lay's. I think they're lighter and a little lighter on the ketchup taste. Cause sometimes that ketchup taste in a chip can be overwhelming.
A little overpowered.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand.
So,
I understand.
Anyway, thanks guys. I appreciate it. And again, thank you, Peter and Robin, for being here.
Yes. Thank you guys. It was such a treat to have you guys on. And again, we can't wait to have you guys come back and tell more of your guys' stories and talk more about stuff. And I think that, again, this is just kind of the beginning of welcoming guests onto the podcast, which is something we're definitely looking forward to doing some more. And without anything else, I mean, I think you guys know the Instagram at My Mom Sandy Podcast. What is that?
That's the ketchup alarm.
It's time for ketchup chips.
Time for ketchup chips. Time for our hourly dose of ketchup chips.
At My Mom Sandy Podcast, you guys can always drop us an email, mymomsandypodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you guys are liking, rating, reviewing the podcast on wherever you guys listen to it. And please, please, please download the Podbean app and have some fun with us next Monday, December 9th at 8 p.m. as we do the first ever My Mom Sandy podcast live.
Oh, yeah, and I'd love to talk to somebody about the 90-Day Fiancé.
Wink, wink, Teresa.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
You better call Teresa because I don't know if Josh will ever let me talk about it again because he's not watching it anymore. So
it was a passing fad.
Yeah, but this season is just unbelievable in some respects. But anyway.
All right. So we'll see everyone next Monday for My Mom Sandy Live. And I don't think I have anything else. Mom, you want to close it out?
Well, yeah, I guess I could do my signature. All right. Very good.